In breathwork, I've experienced moments where life felt vast and fluid and expansive. What stayed with me from those experiences was not the altered state, it was the remembering that possibility is not dependent on extraordinary circumstances. Welcome to The Authentic Creative, where we expand our capacity to feel good one deep breath, one bold choice, and maybe a little bit of magic at a time. I'm Siri Baruch Thornton, healer, creative, and lifelong explorer of all things energy, self-expression, and joy. With over 26 years of experience in Reiki, Akashic Records, and transformational breathwork, I've learned that feeling good is not a luxury, it's a practice. And sometimes it's a little messy. This podcast is here to help you trust your intuition, break the rules, the ones that need breaking, and live more fully in your gifts. So give yourself a deep breath, get cozy, and let's dive in. Welcome back. I am so glad you are here. This is episode 5 in our 12-part devotional Embodied Companion to the Artist's Way. If you're just arriving here, I gently encourage you to begin with episode 1 through 4 and then continue forward. These chapters unfold in a way that supports the nervous system, creative self, and emotional body, opening gradually and safely. Today, we are exploring recovering a sense of possibility. Before we move into teaching, I want to share where I am as I am recording this episode. It's 10:33 at night, and I am sitting inside a rare moment of stillness. Everyone in the house is asleep, the kids, the adults, the dogs, and for the first time in days, the coughing that has been echoing all through the house has gone quiet. I just took a hot shower, I did my yoga, I wrote my to-do list for tomorrow, and I can feel something inside me softening and opening at the same time. I feel hopeful. I feel like we are moving through the thick of this season of illness and back toward rhythm and energy again, and the final shedding of the snake has happened. My mother-in-law arrives tomorrow, and my parents are going to host her for a couple of nights while this house fully recovers, which feels like such a beautiful web of support. And I notice possibility showing up in very ordinary and very meaningful ways right now. I feel excited about our upcoming trip to Maui. I feel excited about Phoenix being in his school musical soon. I feel excited about my breathwork and Reiki retreat coming together. I put down a deposit for our new caterer today, and she's wonderful. It feels like the details are aligning in ways that feel supportive and joyful. And sitting here tonight, as I record this, I'm realizing that possibility often arrives quietly inside moments of relief, support, and gentle forward movement. Possibility does not always arrive as a dramatic life shift. Sometimes possibility arrives as the feeling that life is opening again. As you know, it falls apart, it comes together, it falls apart, it comes together. That is exactly what this chapter invites us to notice. Together today, we will explore how possibility begins returning after safety, identity, power, and integrity start to root inside us. We will move through a breathwork and visualization designed to gently reopen imagination and creative permission. And we will close by grounding what we experienced and how you can continue walking through this devotional series with steadiness and trust. Let us begin. Possibility returns on quiet feet. Possibility arrives after the coughing quiets, after the body softens, after the house exhales. Possibility lives in the moment. Relief turns into breath, and breath turns into hope. Possibility grows inside the ordinary rhythms of life, inside calendars and carpools, inside grocery lists and dreams written in the margins. Possibility opens when support appears where exhaustion once lived, when hands reach toward you and remind you that you are not carrying life alone. Possibility whispers, life is still growing here. Possibility does not demand certainty. Possibility asks for willingness. Possibility walks beside responsibility, and neither one asks the other to disappear. Possibility lives in the moment you allow imagination to sit beside realism, and both feel welcome. Possibility stands at the edge of your life, holding a door that opens only as far as you are ready to walk. Possibility can feel tender because it asks us to reopen imagination in places where we may have quietly closed it for protection. Many of us learned safety through limitation. If disappointment or rejection happened enough times, the nervous system learns to reduce expectation in order to reduce pain. Possibility invites us to gently loosen that protective structure. Julia Cameron speaks about how creative blocks often grow in environments where possibility has been dismissed, criticized, or quietly discouraged. Sometimes those messages came from teachers, families, partners, or cultural expectations. Sometimes those messages become internal voices that feel extremely convincing. Possibility often returns slowly. Possibility might begin as noticing excitement when you hear an idea. Possibility might begin as curiosity about something you thought you were finished with. Possibility might begin as imagining a future version of your life that feels slightly more spacious. Possibility does not require certainty. Possibility asks for openness. For me, possibility often re-enters my life during moments when intensity begins to soften. Motherhood has expanded my life in sacred and profound ways. It has also required me to renegotiate time, identity, and creative expression again and again. There have been seasons where possibility felt small, not because creativity disappeared, but because exhaustion and responsibility asked for most of my attention. What I continue learning through this work is that possibility does not require dramatic life changes to exist. It can live inside small expansions. It lives in allowing a new idea to be explored. It lives in saying yes to support. It lives in believing growth can happen alongside responsibility. I've also noticed that possibility often returns after experiences where identity softens and perspective widens. In breathwork, I've experienced moments where life felt vast and fluid and expansive. What stayed with me from those experiences was not the altered state, it was the remembering that possibility is not dependent on extraordinary circumstances. Possibility can be remembered through presence, through breath, creativity, and willingness to let imagination speak again. Possibility sounds like this inside the self. I am allowed to want more room. I am allowed to imagine new paths. I am allowed to grow beyond what feels familiar. Recovering possibility does not erase realism. It invites realism and imagination to collaborate. Today is about reopening the door to expansion at a pace that feels safe and nourishing. Now we will move into a breathwork and visualization to support reconnecting with possibility and imagination. You can sit or lie down. If it feels comfortable, you may close your eyes. If not, soften your gaze. Bring one hand to your heart. Bring one hand to your lower belly. Begin by noticing your breath exactly as it is. Feel your body being supported by the surface beneath you, by gravity, by the simple truth that you are here, breathing. Now gently invite a slow inhale through the nose. Allow the breath to expand into your chest and belly. And a slow, steady exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale, creating space inside the body. Exhale, allowing tension to soften. With each inhale, imagine your chest opening slightly wider. With each exhale, imagine fear softening around your imagination. Now imagine yourself standing in a landscape that represents your life. Notice what feels familiar. Notice what feels stable. Notice what feels unfinished. In front of you, imagine a path beginning to appear. The path may only reveal a few steps at a time. Possibility often reveals itself this way. As you continue breathing, imagine yourself stepping toward the path slowly. You do not need to know where it leads. You are only invited to notice what it feels like to step toward expansion. If it feels right, silently say to yourself, I am allowed to imagine. I am allowed to explore. I am allowed to grow at my own pace. Be here for a few breaths. When you feel ready, gently bring your awareness back. Feel your hands. Feel the space around you. And when it feels right, open your eyes. Before we close, I want to name what we just experienced together. We explored possibility as something that grows through curiosity and openness rather than certainty. We reflected on how possibility can live alongside responsibility and real life. And we practiced reconnecting with imagination through breath and visualization. Possibility expands through small, consistent permission. As you continue through this series, I encourage you to keep listening in order. And I invite you again to choose an inspiration partner if you haven't already, or to check in with your inspiration partner. Someone who can witness your unfolding and remind you that expansion is allowed. If this work resonated and you want deeper support, I offer a private 12-session breathwork journey inspired by these chapters. Each session is a space to embody the themes and deepen creative recovery through curated music and guided breathwork. You are welcome to reach out if you feel curious about whether it is aligned for you. I am also hosting the Authentic Creative Breathwork and Reiki by the Sea Women's Retreat, May 3rd to May 6th. There are a few spots remaining, and if you feel drawn, email me and we will explore together whether it is right for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing. I will see you in the next episode. Keep expanding your capacity to feel good, one breath at a time. Loving you. And if today's conversation stirred something in you, here are a few ways we can go deeper together. So the Authentic Creative Podcast, where you are now, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss more conversations like this. And if you loved this one, share it with a friend who needs that. One-on-one work for private Reiki, breathwork, Akashic sessions where we can go right into your unique medicine. You can connect with me. Once again, thank you for being here, for listening, for expanding your capacity to feel good alongside me. I'm sending you love, and I can't wait to connect again soon. Loving you.